1460.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Coming up to tip-off between the Algona Bulldogs and Clear Lake Lions here on Hometown Radio KLGA. We're going to take a quick look at the Clear Lake starting lineup for head coach Adam Ernest and the Lions. Now, Coach Ernest taking over in his first season as the head coach of Clear Lake. He spent the previous 3 seasons as the Garner-Hayfield-Ventura head coach. Bart Smith, the Clear Lake head coach the past 14 seasons, stepping down after last year. Meanwhile, Coach Ernest's starting 5 for Clear Lake tonight. The 5'5 senior Alexis Tice, who averaged 5.1 points per game last season for the Lions. They have the 5'5 sophomore Aspen Hill, who appeared in 18 of the 21 games last year for Clear Lake off the bench. They have the 5'8 junior Taylor Schwen, coming off an 8 points, 7 rebound, 6 assists, and 4 steal game against Hampton Dumont Cal in Clear Lake's most recent outing. The 5'9 sophomore Jacelyn Ainley, 15.7 points per game and over 61% shooting so far this season. And the 6'4 senior Ashley Amble, who's coming off a double-double of 16 points and 13 rebounds against Hampton Dumont Cal, both a season high. That is the starting lineup for the Clear Lake Lions here as they get set to take on the Algona Bulldogs tonight. We'll take a quick timeout and get to the Algona starting lineup as well as tonight's tip-off after these messages on Hometown Radio KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports club members.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
Dump It, Kossuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Fairway, everything's easier, fresher, and faster with Algona Fairway.
All bringing you this game.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs, building wealth beyond taxes.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society Algona, senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona. Call 515-320-2491.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown Home Country Radio.
It's time to meet the starting lineup for the Algona Bulldogs.
Emma Spear Jr., number 32.
Spear taking it in. Spear got all the way to the rack and scored.
Taylor Van Otterloo Jr., number 4.
Van Otterloo works the dribble. She'll take to the bucket herself, banks it off the glass and scores.
Belger Dunning Jr., number 20.
Dunning high post. Dunning ducks under Travis. Dunning floats and scores.
Maya Lentz Jr., number 24.
Lentz working into the paint. Goes right side. Through the foul. Put it down. Maya Lentz with a 40.
Hayden McLaughlin Jr., number 22.
Feeds Hayden McLaughlin. Spins towards the right. Put it up and in. Hayden McLaughlin deep in the post as she spun right against Newton. Tip-off of your game is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio. It's time to play some Algona Bulldog basketball here on Hometown Radio KLGA. Some girls basketball action here in the NCC as Algona takes on Clear Lake. That was the starting lineup for 6th-year head coach Noel McLaughlin. Of course, the 6 years the girls head coach. Prior to that, 15 years as the boys head coach here at Algona. His record as the girls coach right now, 75 wins and 43 losses. The Bulldogs are in the home white uniforms tonight. Clear Lake in the road blacks with the yellow lines on the front, yellow numerals front and back outlined in white. At midcourt, it's Lentz against Amble. Amble, the 6'4 senior for Clear Lake, but Lentz elevates and wins the tap as she pushes the ball forward to Van Otterloo, and we're underway from Algona High School. Bulldogs move right to left on the radio dial. Lentz an early three and an early make. Maya Lentz from the left corner, and the Bulldogs for the first punch. They'll press Clear Lake as Ainley dribbles up the far side, tiptoeing the boundary, and she stepped out of bounds. She stepped out of bounds as Van Otterloo slowly took away space from her along the far side, and an early turnover forced by the Algona defense. Bulldogs have won 3 games in a row since that season-opening loss against Forest City, and 3 dominant victories at that. 64-20 over Mason City, 67-23 over Iowa Falls Alden, and 70-15 over Charles City as an errant pass is thrown away. Lentz went tumbling to the deck as the pass will go out of bounds and back to Clear Lake. Lions off to a 3-0 start of their own this season, and doing it in a dominant fashion. They're averaging almost 64 points per game. They're only allowing 18.7 as they'll work against this Bulldog 1-2-2 press. Dribbling across half court is Schwen. She'll shovel the ball, looking for Hill, and she threw it out of bounds along the Algona bench. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers so far for Clear Lake. Turnovers, just 21 coming in today by the Lions. That is 7 per game for their first 3. As Bella-Jo Dunning makes the catch right side on the wing, guarded by Amble, throws it into the cutting Lentz towards the bucket. Got tapped out by Clear Lake on that tall pass, and the Bulldogs will keep it with 7:12 on the clock. Clear Lake coming out playing a man-to-man defense early. We'll see if the Bulldogs can manipulate that a little bit and try to get the 6'4" Amble out of the paint. McLaughlin catches, she spins, she's trapped in a double team, and one official was getting ready to call a jump ball, but the official from behind said that was a foul on the wrist. They got McLaughlin on the wrist there as Ainley picks that one up. First foul for Clear Lake, and that'll get the Bulldogs out of a tough situation there. McLaughlin wanted to spin right, but Clear Lake put her in a sandwich. Van Otterloo from the baseline looking and lobbing it into Spear, makes the catch on the right wing. Dribbles across the foul line, finds Dunning from straight down the barrel and missed the 3-pointer right. Deflection ricochets to the near side where it's taken in by the sophomore Hill, who dribbles into the front court quickly before the Bulldogs can set up a press. She'll pass away from the sideline to Tice at the Bulldogs silhouette at midcourt. Clear Lake operating for the bucket towards the right. Top of the arc at Schwen. She'll squeeze the trigger on the 3. Can't bank it home as the rebound comes down to the foul line to Maya Lentz. Pass over to the right wing towards Hayden McLaughlin for Algona. McLaughlin so far this season averaging over 23 points per game as there's a push by Clear Lake trying to force McLaughlin down to the baseline. And the Lions already pick up their 2nd foul. That one whistled against the 5'8" junior Taylor Schwen, who is a stalwart on the softball time. It is Clear Lake's catcher. On the basketball court, averaging 8 points per game, 5.9 rebounds last season. Inbounded onto the wing to Dunning, works to the foul line, tried to thread it in McLaughlin, poked away by Schwen, but Dunning gets the loose basketball up top. Left corner to McLaughlin, drives into the lane, she loses control of the ball though, and it goes right to Ainley. Ainley on the run-off for Clear Lake, left of the paint, guarded by Van Otterloo, bumps bodies and pivots on the block. Pass will get through out to the perimeter with 6:24 on the clock, and Clear Lake will reset the offense here. Onto the right wing to Schwen, guarded by Lentz. Schwen barreling inside into the body of Dunning, and a blocking foul on Dunning. Dunning shifted the feet there, she saw Schwen coming downhill in her direction, and that'll go as foul number 1 against Dunning and the Bulldogs with 6:17 on the clock. Ainley to inbound. The sophomore with double-digit scoring every game so far for Clear Lake from the near side baseline, gets it into Hill on the wing. Hill looking in for Amble, posting up, and the pass is out of her range. Dunning taps it in and saves it for Algona as Amble is blanketed there by Hayden McLaughlin. Van Otterloo working for the ball right side, bumps into the body of Tice, who held strong, and that shot got nothing as Amble collects loose ball in the center of the paint for Clear Lake. Still 3-0 Algona, Clear Lake basketball right now. Working around towards the right, driving in, lowering the shoulder. Schwen got to the rack, and she spun it up and in as that ball crawled up the rim and somehow dropped through. Put a crazy amount of spin on that for Clear Lake's first field goal, and it's 3-2. Algona lead down to 1. Van Otterloo stumbles across half court, feeds it over to the right to Dunning at the silhouette of the Bulldog logo as she brings the ball back towards the center. Amble poking at the basketball. Dunning will get it right to Spear. Now into McLaughlin, coming off a 24-point game against Charles City. Had the ball poked away on the double team by Amble, and Amble able to find Schwen and get away from that Bulldog double team on the baseline. Schwen running the floor, driving to the rack, layup up and good. And Clear Lake has their first lead of the game, 4-3. They'll pressure a little bit in the backcourt, half-heartedly as McLaughlin will work her way into the forecourt. Across the foul line goes McLaughlin, feeds it into the corner. Dunning will catch, she'll rip, and the free ball's a little strong, and Spear tracks down the offensive rebound and gets it back to Dunning with a fresh 35 for Algona. McLaughlin left side, feeds it into the right corner. Van Otterloo all by herself, short on the 3-point try. Nobody boxed out McLaughlin, who charges in and lays it up and in. And Coach Ernest has steam coming out of his ears right now on the Clear Lake bench as he runs off the pine to call a timeout and say who was supposed to box out Hayden McLaughlin right there. 5-4 Algona, 30-second timeout taken by Clear Lake, and that's the kind of intensity we expect here tonight in this matchup. You go back to last season, Algona, of course, played Clear Lake twice, and both games ended in a 47-44 final in favor of Algona. Overall, the Bulldogs have won their last 4 against Clear Lake. Prior to that, Clear Lake had won 5 in a row. You look last year in that December game at Clear Lake, Algona had an early 14-2 lead. They built a 29-16 lead by halftime and nearly had the game get away in the fourth. In the January meeting in Algona, Clear Lake actually shut out Algona 8-0 in the first and led 38-30 going to the fourth. But Hayden McLaughlin had a crazy fourth quarter, hit a key late three-point ball, scoring a then career-high 23 to save the Bulldogs in that game. Bulldog student section wearing their blackout colors. They've got Rally Townsend as well, chanting for defense. 5-4 Algona as Clear Lake dribbles right side baseline if Ainley gets it out to Tice. Head fakes, enters the paint. She'll float off glass and she'll bank it home. Nice runner there by Alexis Tice, the 5'5 senior of Clear Lake, and it's 6'5 Lions. Spear dribbling away from Hill in the backcourt. Gets across the half-court line for Algona with 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Bulldogs so far this season, 61.5 points per game, only allowing 26.5. Dunning driving in, goes hard to the rack, but forced to a wider angle as that shot misses. Loose basketball chased down by Amble, got run into there by Limbaugh, but no foul called as Clear Lake comes the other direction. Into the right corner, it's Lillian Beresford who just checked in. Now onto the wing to Hill. She'll set herself. Three-point ball, back iron, no good. And a fight for the rebound. And Dunning able to secure it as she was run into by Alexis Tice. Tice was hustling in there, but just a half step late, and she'll get whistled for the personal foul. Clear Lake's third. Well, Limbaugh, we mentioned, she just checked into the game for Algona. Clear Lake is going to check Amble out of the game, and they'll bring in the 6-foot-tall freshman, Gwen Grimm. Grimm has had some excellent minutes so far for Clear Lake. 11 points and 5 rebounds off the bench, shooting 55.6% from the field. She had a career high of 22 points with 9 rebounds in a win over Charles City back on December 4th. Bulldog basketball trailing 6-5 against Clear Lake halfway through the first quarter. Van Otterloo works the dribble, picks it up on the wing and gives it off to Limbaugh. Limbaugh's gonna shoot a three. Oh, and it's good! Kate Limbaugh from range. Her first career three-point attempt goes down, and it's 8-6 Bulldogs. Bet Clear Lake did not see that one coming. And we've got a whistle here, and Clear Lake's gonna turn the basketball over again. Boy, the Bulldog crowd still loving that three-pointer as the student section roaring after that one. Once back into the game, or checking out of the game for Algona are going to be Spear and McLaughlin, rather. Van Tiger on the floor for Algona with Limbaugh, Lentz, Dunning, and Van Otterloo. Limbaugh out on the right wing, passes into the corner to Van Tiger. Van Tiger third in the Bulldogs in steals this year, gives the ball to Lentz, dribbling across the foul line and shoveling to Limbaugh, top of the arc. She's not going to heat check it there, so pass to the right to Van Tiger with 17 on the shot clock. On the right side wing, she'll start her dribble and she'll shovel it back outside to Lentz. Right wing to Dunning for Algona with 10 on the shot clock. Dunning left-hand dribble. She'll spin towards the right. Flips it into Limbaugh. One-on-one with Grimm. Grimm erased that shot. Recollected by Van Tiger. Try to kick it out. She's down to 2. She's down to 1. She's got a hoist. Three-point try. A bit too strong. Offensive board by Limbaugh. Limbaugh put back and she got fouled by Grimm. Limbaugh just outworking people down there on the post, and she will shoot 2 free throws. Offensive rebounding is going to be a massive factor in this game. Both teams are all over the offensive glass so far this season. Clear Lake, 42 offensive rebounds in 3 games. That is 14 per game. Bulldogs not far behind. They're averaging 13.8 offensive boards per game as Limbaugh drains the first free throw to make it 9-6. That's a big jump over last year. Last year, Algona just 10.2 offensive rebounds per game, so this year up to 13.8. The Bulldogs have added somebody named Kate Limbaugh to their lineup, and that has made a difference as Limbaugh drains the foul shot. 10-6 Bulldogs. How about 5 early points by Kate Limbaugh? Limbaugh has a career high of 17 so far this season for Algona. Threading her way in is Ainley taking a wide angle, flipping it up and missing the shot, and Limbaugh able to rip that board away from Grimm with 2:43 left on the clock. Gets the ball over to Spear. The junior dribbles across half court. Van Tiger on the wing, almost traveled the basketball, but maintained that pivot foot. Bulldogs working around right corner to the Spear. Had the ball poked away by Ainley, but got it back. Out to Limbaugh on the wing. Guarded by Grimm. Limbaugh looking inside to the cutting Van Tiger and loses control of the ball. She was blanketed on defense by Beresford, the junior, and the ball will go back to Clear Lake of 2:26 on the clock. Bulldogs have taken good care of the basketball for the most part so far this season. Just 10.5 turnovers per game. Both teams a handful of turnovers on the outside of this one. 10-6 Algona. Ainley heading towards the right side, passing it into the right corner. Here's Logie, catch and shoot 3, a little bit too strong. Grimm able to tap the rebound to Schwen, and a fresh 35 for Clear Lake. Ainley from straight down the barrel, airballs a free out of bounds. Clear Lake not getting the early 3 to drop, and the Bulldogs get it back with 2:06 on the clock. 10-6 Algona right now. It's Spear bringing the ball across half court for the Bulldogs. 3.8 points, 3.8 rebounds per game for Spear to go along with 3.5 assists. She'll pass the lane to Limbaugh. She fumbles, she picks it up, double team. She spins away from the double team and knocks down the jumper from the lane. That's a wily veteran play there by the freshman Limbaugh, and it's 12-6 Algona. Schwen dancing into the lane, sidestepping and drawing the foul as she went into the body of Van Tiger. Whistle for her first personal. Second team foul by the Bulldogs. Comes with 1:43 in the clock in the first quarter, and a 12-6 Algona lead. Van Tiger checks out, Van Otterloo in. Grimm, that is, will check out with Amble coming back in for Clear Lake. Inbound to Schwen, kisses it off the glass, but it won't go. And McLaughlin able to tap the rebound over to Limbaugh. McLaughlin, a good box out there on the 6'4" Amble. As Bulldogs work for the basketball, left side of the court, driving in is McLaughlin. She blew a tire, couldn't get the shot to go. Ball will dribble out of bounds. Last touch by Clear Lake as the Bulldogs maintain possession. Boy, Ashley Amble's just a game changer, just with that wingspan and that size at 6'4". Averages 10.3 points per game, 9.3 rebounds per game, shooting 46% from the field. Logie heads to the bench, Tice back in for Clear Lake. From the far side baseline, it's Van Otterloo looking and lobbing it on the wing to Lentz. Lentz takes one dribble and feeds Spear top of the arc, right wing to Dunning. Trying to drive by Amble, she got inside, but Amble defended that from behind, and Dunning hits it out the side of the rim as Clear Lake controls the rebound. Ainley into the forecourt, the Clear Lake sophomore spinning towards the paint, and a ton of traffic, so she'll pass it back outside, as now it's Schwen. One step right of center, Hill, passes into the right corner to Ainley, working against Spear, works all the way to the block, and took a poor angle there. She shot it over the rim, no good, and Bulldogs control the rebound. Out to Dunning. Dunning had the ball stripped away with good hands by Hill, but picked it back up and gives it off to Lentz. Clear Lake, very active hands on defense so far. On the wing, it's Spear working against Amble. She'll drive in, and it's swatted by Amble. Spear had a step on her, but Amble just used those long arms to reach over the top and block that ball away. Ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Clear Lake. Bulldogs keep it with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. That's a full 1 foot size advantage by Ashley Amble on the 5'4" Emma Spear. Van Otterloo looks, finds the cutting Lentz. Shot got blocked by Amble, but this time a foul. A beautiful inbounds play, and Van Otterloo threaded that ball nicely into Lentz, who will shoot 2 free throws. First personal foul called on Amble. Lentz heading to the line for 2 foul shots. Last year, a 64% foul shooter was Lentz. So far, 0 for 2 this year, but she'll splash that first one to make it 13-6 Algona. Trying to get the good early lead here against Clear Lake. Gabby Van Tiger checking back in. Lentz, second free throw for the Bulldogs. The Northwestern softball commit can't get that one to drop. It's off the back iron, and rebound is vacuumed in by Amble. Ainley into the front court, working right side baseline. Gets it out onto the wing to Hill. Hill enters the lane, feeds Amble, left block, spins it up and in. She spun left against Van Otterloo, and that is a size mismatch there that Clear Lake was able to create. 13-8 as Amble has her first 2. They'll press here against Algona. Van Tiger in the backcourt, trying to sprint away from Tice. She'll weave, and she'll give the ball to Van Otterloo, who gets across half court with 15 seconds on the game clock. Dunning one step right of center now, surveying the man-to-man defense, and back out to Van Otterloo to reset. Here's the screen by McLaughlin as Van Otterloo heads right into Dunning, finds the baseline cutting Van Tiger. She dribbles, and shot got erased by Amble. Ball got knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by Algona. I think if Van Tiger had just shot that one instead of taking that first dribble, she could have snuck that one up there, but that one dribble let Amble get back into the play for the block. 2 seconds left, Bulldogs pressing. Clear Lake length of the court to go. Inbound to Ainley up the near sideline. She'll get the shot off with a baseball type of motion, and she'll throw it off the top of the glass. No good at the end of the first quarter. Eventful first quarter so far. Score right now, Algona 13, Clear Lake 8. Moving to the second on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by extreme cold weather and severe storms. Whether it's snow, ice, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag, electrical, and generator sales and service dealer. Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Gabby Van Tiger, and you're listening to Algona Girls Basketball on KLGA.
Start of the second quarter as Algona leads Clear Lake 13-8 here on Hometown Radio KLGA. Ainley working on the right side. Algona playing a box and one against Ainley, it appears, defensively. Ainley right in the paint. Last year scored 11 and 9 in the 2 games against Algona and works the ball up top to Aspen Hill. Over to the right side, she'll deliver the ball to Schwen. Schwen wants to drive it against Dunning. She got a step on her all the way to the rack and she scores. Schwen able to beat Dunning to the basket that time, and it's 13-10. Schwen already have 6 points for Clear Lake. Taylor Schwen had 11 and 12 last year in the 2 games against Algona. Limbaugh right wing looking into Dunning. That ball got swatted away, and Schwen's running the floor again, but she's tiptoeing the sideline, and she is out of bounds, so she couldn't stay in. But still, great defensive play. You've got to be constantly moving if you're Algona. If you just sit back and wait for the pass to come, Clear Lake is jumping in front and moving very quickly, so you've almost got to attack the ball like you're a wide receiver in football. Amble checks out. The freshman Grimm, 6 feet tall back in for Clear Lake, so you're not losing a ton of size even when you have Grimm coming in off the bench. Limbaugh out on the perimeter right now, looking inside to Dunning. On the right block, she's trying to curl her way around Hill. That shot got tipped on the way up. Boy, a lot of Bulldog shots have already gotten deflected, but a foul on the loose basketball here with 7:07 on the clock, and Clear Lake's going to get tagged for another one. They will get Schwen on that, her second personal. First foul of the quarter by Clear Lake. 13-10, Algona, your score right now as Van Otterloo looks. She'll fire it into Dunning, top of the arc. Dunning works left-handed dribble and gives off to McLaughlin, who's currently averaging 23.2 points per game, which is higher than her career high coming into this season. And that's her average so far this year. She'll pass near side to Van Otterloo. She'll catch, she'll rip, she'll miss the shot. The cleanup by Limbaugh, put back too strong off the glass. And the rebound deflects outside to Ainley for Clear Lake. Ainley across the Bulldog logo at midcourt. Delivers onto left wing to Schwen. She'll shoot from the parking lot, and off the front of the rack, no. Dunning gets the rebound, and then getting overzealous was Alexis Tice, trying to swat that ball out of Dunning's hands. She'll pick up another foul for Clear Lake. Lions are racking up the early fouls here. That is number 2 in this quarter, and number 2 on Alexis Tice. Emma Spear coming back in for the Bulldogs. Gabby Van Tiger going to the bench. And Maya Lentz also back in as Hayden McLaughlin will take a seat on the pine. Van Otterloo bringing the ball across half court, averaging 6 assists per game so far this season for Algona. Passes near side to Dunning, went over her head, but went right to Lentz just outside of the left corner. Back to Dunning, who rotates right to Van Otterloo, inside to Limbaugh. Limbaugh off Grimm, and Grimm will foul Limbaugh. She'll shoot 2 free throws. Grimm was just maybe a half step out of position there against Limbaugh, who had a pretty clean window to spin towards the bucket that time. Grimm will prevent the easy 2 as Limbaugh will shoot a pair of free throws. Impressive outing so far by the Bulldogs defensively against Clear Lake. This line team, as Limbaugh makes the first free throw, not great offensively last season. They only scored 50-plus points in 7 of their 22 games, but they've done that in all 3 of the games so far. In fact, you look at the Clear Lake games up to this point in the season, the point totals they've had so far this year would have been 3 of their 6 high-scoring games last year. Their 69-point game against Charles City would have been their highest total. Their 59 against Hampton Dumont would have been their 2nd highest-scoring game last year. And then that win over Ballard, 53-30, that would have been their 6th highest point total last season. So the offense is working a little more efficiently so far this year for Clear Lake. Bulldogs showing a 1-3-1 zone. Limbaugh backs the pass away from Grimm in the lane. Loose basketball picked up by Van Otterloo for Algona. 15-10 Bulldogs. Van Otterloo up ahead to Dunning. Dunning will weave across the half-court line. Feeds it into Limbaugh, right block. Limbaugh fades back, shoots over Grimm, rolls off the back iron, no good. And parachuting in for the rebound. Just on the bench is the 5'6" junior Madison Logie. It's Ainley working for the basketball. Ainley against Spear. Gets it outside to Hill. Hill, primarily a three-point shooter last year, has 37 out of her 39 attempts from the field with three-point shots. Grimm lowering the shoulder, getting inside, and going off glass, no good. Missed long, and Dunning tracks down the rebound for Algona. Bulldogs hustled up the court. Lentz looking into Limbaugh, and that'll be a kickball violation out on the perimeter by Aspen Hill, who was trying to prevent that entry pass to Kate Limbaugh. Boy, Limbaugh is getting fed time and time again for Algona, both on the perimeter and in the post. Bulldogs love what they've seen from her so far. And even with a team like Clear Lake that can match up with her size, getting her touches near the basket is going to be a winning formula for Algona. McLaughlin in the high post right now for the Bulldogs. She tries to go up and under, drop the basketball, pick back up, she'll shovel a spear, but it is poked out of bounds. A little swat there by Madison Logie to poke that ball away. Bulldogs will maintain possession, but they'll have to inbound it here from the left side corner, from down front of where the Clear Lake students are situated. Van Otterloo to set things in motion with 5:17 on the clock. Inbounds to the cutting spear. Back outside of Van Otterloo. Gives it off to Lentz. Lentz on the left wing to Spear with 11 on the shot clock. Out to Limbaugh, one step right of center, looking inside, catch made by McLaughlin. She swarmed immediately outside to Lentz. She'll let it rip. Lentz three-pointer off the back of the arc, and that ball hit the extension above the backboard, but the officials didn't see it. Then Van Otterloo on the offensive board tried to throw it to Limbaugh out of bounds, and it goes back to Clear Lake anyways. So that should have initially been Clear Lake possession, but they'll get the basketball back anyways, trailing 15-10 with 4:55 left in the second quarter. Algona 19-19 against Clear Lake, dating back to the 2006 season. As Ainley enters the lane, she hesitates, puts up a shot, contested by Limbaugh, fight for the rebound along the baseline, and that'll be a foul against Hayden McLaughlin for Algona, who was wrestling with Ashley Amble down there to try to get the rebound. First personal foul by McLaughlin. First team foul of the quarter by Algona as Schwen comes back in, and Beresford goes to the bench. On the other end of the court, Clear Lake has been all over Hayden McLaughlin so far. Inbounded to Schwen, guarded by Dunning. Schwen with the ball on the string right now, top of the arc, looks inside to Amble. Good job fronting her by Limbaugh, who knocked the ball way into the corner. Picked up by Clear Lake on the loose ball, though, by Ainley. A feed near side in the corner. Tice, look out. Three-point ball off back iron, won't go. Tapped around and rebounded by Maya Lentz for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Spear. Alice down the court to Dunning, but her pass is a little too tall, and it'll go out of bounds back to Clear Lake. Not a lot of flow yet so far for the Bulldog offense, or for the Clear Lake offense for that matter. As we approach the halfway point in the second quarter, both teams have scored just 2 points so far this period. Clear Lake operates with the bucket towards the right. It's Ainley, guarded by Spear. Emma Spear, 12 steals so far this year to lead Algona. They'll screen, driving it as Ainley against Dunning. She spins it up. It sits on the rim and drops off, and Limbaugh able to wrestle the ball away from Amble, who goes crashing to the ground. Dunning into the front court. The Bulldog junior bounce pass to Spear. It's wide of the mark and intercepted by Tice. Bulldogs have gotten a little sloppy with the basketball here as they maintain this 5-point lead. Schwen for Clear Lake gives to Tice in the wing. Fought about free, but fought better of it. Works the dribble around towards the right. Top of the arc, now she'll accelerate. Deals into the corner to Logie. She'll catch, she'll let it rip. Three-point ball's a bit too strong. Fight for the rebound, and it was Schwen going for the back of Hayden McLaughlin for a foul. That is number 3 on Taylor Schwen for Clear Lake. And Coach Ernest being forced into an early decision. They're leaving Schwen on the floor for now as Ainley will actually head to the bench. And a timeout call on the floor now by Algona. 3:41 left in the first half. It's Algona 15, Clear Lake 10 here on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
More Sports Club members bringing you this game.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Oakcrest Funeral Service, celebrating a life lived.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair, service is the difference.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840 or schindlerlawncare@gmail.com.
Signworks Inc. for all your signage needs and printed apparel. Stop in or call 295-9544.
All sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Bella Jo Dunning. You're listening to Algona Girls Basketball on KLGA.
Maya Lentz bursting into the front court for Algona, threads it to Limbaugh, and had her shot ejected by Amble. Artie Amble's third block of the game as Tice runs into the front court for Clear Lake. 15-10, the Algona advantage right now in this key North Central Conference matchup. Inside to Amble in a double team, shoots over the top and scores. Limbaugh was trying to stay vertical in front. Van Otterloo right there as well, but Amble didn't care, and it's 15-12. Winner in this game becomes the early favorite in the NCC this season. Algona's been the back-to-back NCC champion. Prior to that, Clear Lake had won the conference the previous 4 seasons. Bulldogs right now have a win streak of 18 in North Central Conference games. Into McLaughlin, marooned into the bucket, looks for space. She shovels the ball up and she guided it in. Hayden McLaughlin was able to make a play out of nowhere that time to make it 17-12. Her second field goal of the night. 4 points by McLaughlin, and the Bulldogs are up by 5. Clear Lake operates to the bucket towards the right. Logie top of the arc, she'll let it fly, and missed everything on the three-point balls. It trickles out of bounds along the baseline. Clear Lake's been ice cold from three-point range so far today. On the season, not a great three-point shooting team is there, just under 26% from range on the season. They continue to press against Algona, as Spear will work one-on-one of Hill into the front court. Spear around to the right to Dunning, deep on the wing with 2:27 left in the first half. Into the high post to McLaughlin, out to Limbaugh, feeling it again. Bang! Bang! Limbaugh hits another three-pointer. 2 for 2 in her career. Will she take a third tonight? I'd have to say yes with the way she's shooting it so far. Is driving in Ainley, got by Limbaugh, missed from point-blank range, and then Limbaugh blocked Amble. What a sequence there by the Bulldog freshman. Spear outlet to Dunning, layup no good as Dunning came in a little bit too hot on that one, and Clear Lake has the rebound. 20-12 Algona. Limbaugh had never attempted a three prior to today, but with Clear Lake's size inside, she has gone to the perimeter as Ainley drives in, missed another layup. Tough offensive start for Ainley, who's still scoreless, and Algona controls the rebound. Van Otterloo, cross-court feed into the corner to McLaughlin. She slides towards the lane, she shovels it up, and it spins out no good. The rebound spits out into the hands of Amble for Clear Lake. 8-point Algona lead. Hayden McLaughlin had a big game, 23 points on 7 of 18 shooting, 5 of 10 threes, and 4 of 4 free throws. Last time these teams matched up, but so far just 4 tonight. On the left wing, it's not a three-point ball for Clear Lake. And this one is an air ball by Madison Reiser, the freshman. It'll go out of bounds and back to Algona. Boy, the kind of size Clear Lake has, they have not gotten it into the paint as much as I'd expect so far tonight. They've gotten a few good downhill drives by Schwen that have resulted in points. Ainley's driven to the bucket as well, but hasn't been able to finish there. And then just a lot of three-point balls for a team that's got a 6-foot freshman, Gwen Grimm, off the bench, and a 6'4" senior, Ashley Amble, in their lineup. 20-12 Algona, 1:12 left in the first half. Spear gives the ball from the wing to Van Tiger, into McLaughlin, back to the bucket, backing her way in. She hooks it up with the left hand and she draws the foul. McLaughlin was trying to overpower the 5'5" Aspen Hill in that man-to-man defensive matchup, and Hayden McLaughlin wins the matchup, and she will go to the line and shoot 2. Hayden McLaughlin on the season scored a career high of 32 against Iowa Falls Alden, and knocks down the first free throw to make it 21-12 Bulldogs. By the way, for 5 points tonight, Hayden McLaughlin is across the 600 career point mark. Came into tonight with 596, along with 314 career rebounds, as she knocks down the second foul shot as well. 75% foul shooter last year's McLaughlin, just under 73% so far this season, and she buries them both to make it 22-12 Algona. The most separation the Bulldogs have had so far today from Clear Lake. Hill on the right side, guarded by McLaughlin, picks up a dribble in the corner, throws a bullet pass up top to Beresford, rotates it around left to Reiser, back to Beresford. Across the foul line, her pass to Ainley, poked away by Spear, but it rolls over to Hill on the near side of the court with 15 on the shot clock. Hill dancing on the wing, passes inside the Grimm, fronted by Dunning, who intercepts the ball for Algona. 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Game clock now at 35 seconds as Van Otterloo brings the ball across half court and dribbles the Bulldog silhouette. Into the right corner to Spear with 29 seconds left in the first half. Out to the wing to Dunning. Works on Grimm. She drives in Dunning hard to the rack, but got the shot blocked again. Hill and Grimm there on defense, and Clear Lake can take the last shot if they want it. It's a 10-point Algona lead. 17 seconds left in the first half. Hill works the dribble. Hill explodes the bucket. She's wide open and she'll lay it up and in. Bulldogs got caught flat-footed, thinking she was going to dribble more timeout. Now a chance for Algona to shoot. 5 seconds. Spear across half court. She'll heave. It's missing left. Rebounded by Dunning. Shoots on the baseline, and that one is no good either. And the first half comes to an end. Score right now, Algona 22, Clear Lake 14, in this key early season North Central Conference matchup on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members making this broadcast possible.
Runkey Brothers. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Strowman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
All bringing you this broadcast.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
We've got more sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Camco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Back to Algona High School at halftime on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream as the Algona Bulldogs lead the Clear Lake Lions 22-14 at the break. In the first quarter, it was Algona with a 13-8 scoring advantage. The Bulldogs would outscore the Lions 9-6 in the second, getting us to this half with a 22-14 score. Obviously, the implications in this one are big early in the NCC. You've got to imagine that to win the NCC, you probably can't afford more than 1, maybe 2 conference losses, because Clear Lake and Algona are 2 of the teams that seem poised to really control their way for the NCC schedule, and the games against each other may very well determine this conference. So far, both teams 1-0 in the conference, and so far both teams having a little trouble finding their footing offensively in this one. Looking at a few early factors in this ball game, turnover is a big issue really for both the teams so far in this ball game. There hasn't been a ton of flow offensively, and both teams, whenever they get a semblance of momentum, it seems to be stopped pretty quickly by another turnover on offense. And that's a credit to the way they're playing defense so far. The intensity of this game, even in the month of December, usually tends to be more of a defensive-oriented type of battle. So we're seeing that kind of play out with the amount of turnovers we've seen so far in this one. For Algona, they're really making concerted effort, even against the size of Clear Lake, to try to get that ball into the lane. But it does feel sometimes the Bulldogs are forcing up shots from the paint where they're pretty well covered when there are maybe opportunities to kick it out for some longer jumpers. There have been a lot of tipped shots from the inside as well. You'd expect that against Clear Lake, but there have just not been a lot of clean looks in the paint that the Bulldogs have been able to get up without any issues. Just a lot of tipped balls by Clear Lake, a lot of shots that the Bulldogs have been forced to kind of a tough angle. Clear Lake is really just doing a good job of forcing the Bulldog drivers wide defensively. There have certainly been some fouls by Clear Lake, but ultimately they're not really letting the Bulldogs get a whole lot of gimmies from inside the paint, especially for Hayden McLaughlin. Whenever the Bulldogs get the ball to number 22, there are a ton of eyes wearing the black and yellow uniforms, turning their eyes in that direction to make sure that she doesn't take over the game like she did last year when these teams matched up at the Algona High School Gymnasium. Meanwhile, for Clear Lake, the 2 big things that are holding them back offensively, just a really poor 3-point shooting start to the game so far. Not only are the three-point shot's not going in, but they're not even getting the rim. We've seen multiple air balls so far by Clear Lake, and the three-point shots they're trying to get against Algona just are not going down at this point. Just not a lot of paint touches. Again, I made the point in the first half. You've got a 6'4" center of Ashley Amble. When she's not playing, you've got a 6'tall Gwen Grimm off the bench. So there should be some opportunities to, A, get offensive rebounds, which Clear Lake hasn't gotten many of, and B, get a few more paint touches and some points underneath the bucket. But a credit to the Bulldog defense. They've had Limbaugh in there quite a bit tonight. She's held strong. She's avoided foul trouble, and she's actually made things quite tough for Clear Lake in the painted area. Clear Lake, though, they've tried to get their guards penetrating off the dribble, and it worked with Taylor Schwen, who leads the lines of 6 points, but their leading scorer on the season, Jacelyn Ainley, who's had double-digit scoring every game so far, held a 0 so far in this game, and part of that is she's driving in and just missing a lot of point-blank shots. You'd imagine a few more of those will start to drop in the second half, but it's not just Ainley. Clear Lake, they just can't keep missing on these layups if they want to hang around with Algona and try to knock off the Bulldogs on their home hardwood tonight. Those are a few of the key factors from the first half of action as Algona leads Clear Lake 22-14 at intermission. We'll take a timeout, get to the second half of basketball action after these messages on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
Some of the most significant power outages in recent years have been caused by extreme cold weather and severe storms. Whether it's snow, ice, or extreme wind, don't be caught in the dark. At Murphy Farm Services, our top-of-the-line Generac or Cummins generators will automatically power your home in the event of a power loss. Already have a standby generator? Call us today to get on our preventative maintenance list to ensure your machine is running at its maximum efficiency. Contact your local certified ag, electrical, and generator sales and service dealer. Murphy Farm Services, delivering the power you need when you need it.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident.
Algona Livestock, sales every Monday.
Weichert Realty, the 515 agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio, brought to you by these sports club members.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce, 2 sauces for all seasons.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
Fairway, everything's easier, fresher, and faster with Algona Fairway.
All bringing you this game.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants, where everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Thank you to these sports club members making this broadcast possible.
Ruhnke Brothers. Experience the Ruhnke Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
Ulrich Construction, let them do the work.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service, call 295-SOFT.
All bringing you this broadcast.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Taylor Van Arterloo, and you're listening to Algona Girls Basketball on KLGA.
Start of the second half here on Hometown Radio, KLGA Algona, 92.7 FM, and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream as Algona currently leads Clear Lake 22-14. Both teams still looking for a little momentum on the offensive side of the basketball. It's been another nip-and-tuck battle between these Bulldogs and the Clear Lake Lions, as both games last year really transformed into rock fights between these teams. Bulldogs winning both of last year's matchups 47-44. Well, Clear Lake last year finished the season 9-12. They were tied for third place in the NCC. That was their first losing season since going 6-16 back in the 2008-2009 season. They started last year 1-6. They eventually were 5-10, but they won 5 of their last 6 games in the regular season before a first-round postseason loss, 46-41 against Hampton-Dumont-Cal. Bulldogs have the basketball to start the second half. 3-0 Lions and the 3-1 Bulldogs doing battle here in Algona tonight. Dunning in the right corner has Amble in front of her. Gets it onto the wing to Lentz. Top of the key to Spear. Clear Lake continues to play man-to-man, gives it off to Dunning. Dunning driving downhill past Amble. She floats off glass. Can't make it home, but she bats her on this out to Van Otterloo, but it goes out of bounds as Van Otterloo can't track it down. Right idea there by Dunning, trying to tap her own miss out, but just a little wide of the mark towards her teammate Taylor Van Otterloo, as Clear Lake will now have their first possession of the second half, moving right to left on the radio dial. Ainley surveying the Bulldog defense, passes it over to the right. Bulldogs come out a 2-3 zone. Ainley looking into Amble. Amble spinning left against McLaughlin. Nice touch as she lays it in. 6 points by Amble, and that's what Clear Lake did not have enough of in the first half. Weaving in a Spear, kicking to Dunning. Open on the right side. Banks in the three-point shot! Well, sometimes that's a way to spark your shooting night. It hasn't been a great night shooting-wise for Bella Jo Dunning so far. That's her first bucket of the game, but maybe that'll get things going as it's 25-16 Bulldogs. Algona just over 30% on three-point balls this season as Ainley lowers the shoulder right side, kicks it in the corner to Tice, rotates on the wing to Hill. Her three-point ball, the answer goes out of bounds off an air ball, and the Bulldogs will get possession back. There were just too many of those in the first half of the Clear Lake Lions. Three-point balls with plenty of time on the shot clock, and no touches in the paint. Ball inbounded in the backcourt to Dunning. Passed it off the leg of Schwen. It rolled to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's pass swatted out of bounds by Tice. And the Bulldogs will inbound again from the baseline as Clear Lake keeps the full court pressure on here. They're going to go 1-3-1 here across as the Bulldogs pass it near side to Lentz. Lentz across the half-court line for Algona. Dribbles over to the right wing. Picks up her dribble and gives it off to Dunning. Dunning 2 dribbles, turning into 3 to the left. Dropped the ball, tried to pick it back up, shoveled to the outside, and it went in between Van Otterloo and Spear and out of bounds. The Bulldog offense is just being bothered here by how aggressive Clear Lake is on defense. Very handsy, a lot of poking at the basketball. You can't fall asleep. You've got to take care of that if you're Algona. Ainley dribbling around towards the left. Passes to Schwen from the right side. Her three-point ball is wedging off to the right, no good. But offensive board is tracked down by Tice, who brings it back outside. Hill in the corner, caught by the jumping Lentz. Kicks it out left wing to Ainley. Dribbles across the foul line, enters the lane. Ainley's runner off the front of the cup, no good. Hit back iron, hit front iron, but it didn't go down. And the tough night for Ainley continues. Bulldogs get the ball into the front court. Van Otterloo to McLaughlin on the right wing. McLaughlin across the foul line, shovels the ball to Dunning. Dunning dancing, jumping into the lane, trying to get by Amble, but her shot got bothered at the last minute as it wedges on the inside of the rim, no good. Amble controls the rebound for Clear Lake. Amble dribbling into the forecourt and passing up to Schwen. The 5'8 junior Taylor Schwen had an all-out game of 8 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals in their most recent game against Hampton-Dumont-Cal. Ainley top of the arc, around to left against Spear. Working her way in, she drove by everyone, got to the rack and scored it. Bulldogs got a little static there defensively. Not a whole lot of movement there as Ainley just drove right by for her first bucket of the game. Dunning works her way across the paint, drifts out to the left wing and gives off to McLaughlin. 25-18 right now, Bulldogs. McLaughlin back to Dunning in the corner. She'll let it fly, and Dunning in and out and back in on the three. That ball thought about sneaking back out, but it drops through as Dunning has her second three of the quarter. 10-point Bulldog lead at 28-18. Boy, right when it feels like the Clear Lake Lions are about to get back into the game, the Bulldogs are hitting huge shots. Hill on the other end, can't get the three to drop. Knocked out of bounds along the baseline off the hands of Tice, and back to Algona, 4:45 left in the third quarter. Grimm checks in off the bench for Clear Lake as Amble heads to the Pine. Bulldogs bring Limbaugh back into the game, already working with 12 points so far in this one. Van Tiger back in as well as Spear and Dunning go to the bench for Algona. Kate Limbaugh came into today shooting 68% from the field for Algona. Again, leading the way with 12 points as McLaughlin dribbles on the right wing, heading left across the foul line. Now Lentz on the left wing for Algona. Lentz dribbles to the foul line, gives to McLaughlin, top of the arc. McLaughlin looking, finds the cutting Van Tiger, trying to curve away into the lane, and Grimm just takes that shot right out of her hands. Loose ball goes to Limbaugh for Algona, though. Now it's McLaughlin backing her way in, looking for space, going up and under, shoveling that ball off the glass, but it won't go. Got her on his back, and she draws the foul. Hayden McLaughlin with those lengthy moves in the paint. Missed on the shot, but collected her own miss, and Clear Lake will commit their second foul of the quarter. First personal foul against Lillian Beresford, who just checked in. Beresford, by the way, a really good shooter off the bench. She's made 7 of 13 field goals so far this season and 5 out of 9 threes as Van Tiger catches the pass. And we've got a push called on the play against Clear Lake. Actually, that last foul was Clear Lake's first. This will be Clear Lake's second. And Beresford picks up another one, her second personal. Van Otterloo, far side baseline, inbounds corner to Van Tiger. Looking into Limbaugh, but that pass intercepted by the jumping Ainley. And then Van Tiger tries to take it right back, but Ainley got it back again, though. Ainley tried to juke past Van Otterloo. And a foul on the play as Van Otterloo will prevent the shot. It'll be 2 free throws instead for Jason Ainley. Ainley last season as a freshman, 7.2 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, and 3 assists. She was a 62% free throw shooter. She's 4 for 8 at the stripe so far this season. Wearing the neon shoes, she misses off back iron, no good. And the score stays 28-18, halfway through the third quarter. Schwen checking back in for the Lions. Tice going to the bench. Van Otterloo and Lentz will check out for Algona. As Spear and Dunning come back in. Well, this is the lineup where you bring some power in for the Bulldogs. Limbaugh, McLaughlin, and Dunning. Those are your strong post players here. And Bulldogs will try to get the ball inside against Clear Lake as Spear dribbled the ball off her leg, trying to bring it up front. Driving in is Schwen off the turnover. She'll lay it up and in. 28-21. Bulldogs by a touchdown right now. 3:51 left in the quarter. Schwen was able to force the turnover. Bounce pass to Van Tiger and hits it off the side of the iron. No good. Ball deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Clear Lake. And the Lions are starting to turn it up defensively as the Bulldogs are a bit sped up there on the offensive end. Van Tiger checks out. Van Otterloo quickly back in for Algona. Van Otterloo looks, finds Limbaugh on the block. She's open and she lays it in. Clear Lake did not get lined up correctly there on the inbounds play as they left Limbaugh nearly uncovered. Point blank range to the basket as the Bulldog freshman now has 14 points. 9-point lead for Algona, 30-21. Lions work the basket towards the left. Ainley dribbles around towards the left side. She drives in, she powers it up, and it spins out no good. Fight for the rebound, and Limbaugh rips it away. It again looked like the Bulldogs went for box and one on that possession against Ainley, who almost got the points anyways. But Bulldogs will dodge the quick 2. 9-point Algona advantage. Van Otterloo at the point for the Bulldogs. Gets the Limbaugh screen, and that's going to be a moving screen on Limbaugh. Limbaugh was a little late getting out there and then tried to adjust on the fly against Hill to make contact, and the officials saw that one coming from a mile away. Limbaugh's first personal foul with 3:07 on the clock in this third quarter. Lions will bring Tice and Logie back into the ball game. Hill and Beresford will check out for Coach Ernest and the Lions. As you mentioned earlier, Bart Smith, longtime Clear Lake coach of 14 years, stepped down after last season. Coach Ernest coming over from Garner Hayfield Ventura. Left of center, Tice rips the trigger on a 3, and she finds the bottom of the net. Boy, did Clear Lake need one of those to go, and we're down to a 6-point game, 30-24. The pressure turns up in the backcourt. McLaughlin fires up ahead to Van Otterloo, makes the catch, bounce pass to the running Limbaugh. Limbaugh, no good off the window, came in flying as Grimm had the contest, and Clear Lake controls the rebound. Well, the thing is, when you break that press, you don't have to stay sped up. You can pull it up and play half-court offense. Bulldogs are just a little too sped up there after getting across half-court. Here's Schwen barreling it against Van Otterloo. Looked like she pushed off there, but they let it go as the shot misses, and Van Otterloo tracks down the rebound after going flying out of bounds. Bulldogs come the other way. McLaughlin pulls the trigger for free off the front iron, and Schwen brings in the rebound for Clear Lake. Schwen running the floor, prancing into the lane, banking left off glass, no, and Limbaugh reels in the rebound. Quickly outlets to Dunning with 2:08 left in the quarter. Dunning works left side of the court and gives the ball to Van Otterloo at the Bulldog silhouette near midcourt. Van Otterloo drifting towards the right side, has Tice in front of her. Now Spear feeds Limbaugh inside against Grimm. Grimm got a hand on that shot and deflected it, and Ainley comes out with the basketball for Clear Lake. 1:50 left in the third. Big possession here for the Lions, down by 6. Ainley into the lane, tried to shovel the ball to Grimm. Bulldogs tipped it. Grimm trying to fight her way back into the play, and she got fouled. Held up by Taylor Van Otterloo for the Bulldogs' third foul of the quarter, and second personal on Van Otterloo. This is another rock fight here between Algona and Clear Lake. 30-24 as the Lions bring Amble back in. Hill comes back in as well, as does Tice. Logie and Schwen also on the floor for the Lions. Bulldogs counter of Spear, Lentz, Van Tiger, Dunning, and Van Otterloo, as McLaughlin and Limbaugh will take a rest. Ball's inbounded to Logie, rotates to top of the arc to Tice. We're 5 points so far tonight. Tice dribbles towards the left to center, passes into the left corner to Hill. Rips the pass back to Tice, rotates right to Schwen. 1:31 left in the third. Schwen, top of the arc, steps into the three-point ball, and it bounces off back iron, no good. And it deflected off the extension above the backboard, which is a huge break for the Bulldogs because Tice knifed her way inside and got the offensive board, but it doesn't matter because it grazed off that extension, and the Bulldogs will have the automatic possession. McLaughlin checking back in, Dunning checking out for Algona, as McLaughlin will inbound the basketball. Clear Lake going 1-2-1-1 here on the full court press. Inbounded to Van Tiger. Cross-court feed near side to Lentz, and the Bulldogs will ease their way across the half-court line. Lentz pivoting around on the wing, being played hard on defense by Hill. Gives up the Spear. Shovels to Van Tiger, now back to Lentz. Lentz will shoot a contested three-point shot, and it bounces off, no. Followed by McLaughlin. That ball got dislodged, and Amble able to collect it. McLaughlin wanted the foul, but won't get it, and Clear Lake has it with 1:03 left in the third quarter. Lions doing a good job of taking the Bulldogs' best offensive weapons away tonight, as barreling inside is Schwen, losing it out of bounds as it was raked out by McLaughlin. Last touched by the Bulldog Jr. Limbaugh has 14 tonight, but Hayden McLaughlin, Bellajo Dunning, and Maya Lentz have all been very quiet so far for the Bulldogs. As a timeout's called on the floor with 55 seconds left to go in the quarter, it'll be a 60-second timeout. We'll take it as well. Algona 30, Clear Lake 24 on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs, building wealth beyond taxes.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Farmer State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society Algona, senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona. Call 515-320-2491.
Sponsoring this broadcast on Hometown Home Country Radio.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Hayden McLaughlin. You're listening to Algona Girls Basketball on KLGA.
55 seconds left in the third quarter as we welcome you back to Algona High School. It's another battle here between the Bulldogs and the Lions. What else is new? 30-24 is the Algona lead right now. These teams have combined for the last 6 NCC championships. Algona winning the last 2, Clear Lake winning the prior 4 to that. As Lions have the ball right now, working for the bucket towards the left. Tice gets away from Van Otterloo, left elbow jumper, and it's off back iron, no good. Limbaugh rips down the rebound and keeps it away from Amble. The way Clear Lake's playing defensively, you'd have to think at some point someone like Gabby Van Tiger, Emma Spear, Taylor Van Otterloo is going to have to knock down a big shot because Clear Lake is all over McLaughlin, Dunning, and Lentz tonight, trying to let those 3 beat them. McLaughlin able to work inside and draw the foul on the Lions. Tice picking that one up, her third personal. Team foul 3 for Clear Lake, as McLaughlin will shoot 2 free throws. Clear Lake, 3 of 5 starters back from last season. Lydia Bratrud and Maddie Ott graduating, as converting on the free throw is McLaughlin to make it a 31-24 Bulldog lead. Clear Lake continues to play well defensively against Algona, with Grimm checking in and Tice checking out. Hayden McLaughlin shooting 52.8% from the field this year, 41% for three-point land, and 73% for the foul line as she converts on both foul shots, and it's a 32-24 Algona lead. Those foul line points are going to be key here coming down the stretch. Shot clock and game clock virtually even. Clear Lake has it with 29 seconds left on the game clock in quarter number 3. Dribbling for the basketball is the freshman Reiser, delivers over to the right to Hill, into the corner to Grimm, gets going downhill, stops edge of the paint, and works it back outside on the wing to Hill. Hill dancing around to Van Otterloo, Hill trying to shake loose, Van Otterloo staying right in front. Hill can't find any openings, great defense by Van Otterloo, and the pass knocked away by Van Tiger out of bounds, as Hill eventually had to unload that ball, looking for Ainley. That was about 10 seconds of excellent defense by Taylor Van Otterloo, and now Clear Lake has just 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Inbounded to Ainley, guarded by Spear. Here's the Amble screen. Ainley trying to shake loose as Spear fights for the screen. Inside to Amble, knocked away by Limbaugh, running the floor. Limbaugh had it knocked away from behind as she was tracked down on the play by Reiser. And the Bulldogs will keep it with 1.6 seconds left on the clock. That's actually a break for Algona because I don't think Limbaugh knew how much time was on the clock there. She did not look like she was getting ready to shoot that ball. Instead, the Bulldogs can recollect themselves here for an inbounds play. 1.6 seconds left. Dunning looks. Finds McLaughlin in the corner. She got a clean look off from three-point land, but it's short, and the third quarter comes to an end. Algona 8 minutes away from a huge early season NCC win, but they're far from out of the woods. They lead Clear Lake 32-28 heading to the fourth on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
High school sports on Hometown Home Country Radio. Brought to you by these sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Ed Service Station, service you can trust.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch and Daniel Foth.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Snap-on Tools, the most valued tool storage solutions in the world.
All sponsors of this game.
Hey Bulldog fans, this is Maya Lentz. You're listening to Algona Girls Basketball on KLGA.
Fasten those seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to the fourth quarter as Algona leads Clear Lake 32-24 in this NCC girls basketball matchup. Both teams scored 10 points during the third quarter as the Bulldogs come out on the fourth with their starting five back on the floor. Lentz, Spear, McLaughlin, or check that, Limbaugh's joined them as well, and Dunning. The lone member of the starting five not on the floor is Van Otterloo, as Limbaugh out there for the Bulldogs, their leading scorer so far tonight. Clear Lake has the basketball right now, operating with the bucket towards the left as Ainley's at the controls, joined by Amble, Schwen, Hill, and Tice. Ainley dancing around, giving the ball to Schwen, got a good look from three-point land, but she line-drived it. McLaughlin had the rebound. It was raked out of her hands and knocked off her body out of bounds as Clear Lake will have possession right now. Limbaugh leading the way, 14 points tonight for Algona. Hayden McLaughlin with 8. Ainley from the baseline. Gets it in to Tice. Tice holding, looking for the screen from Amble. Tice driving and kicking into the corner to Hill. Hill into the lane, finds Amble on the high post. Amble against Limbaugh, hitting the spin move, working left. Banks it off the glass, but missed it as Limbaugh forced her to shoot that from a ways out. And the loose rebound rolls in the hands of Hayden McLaughlin. Alex on the floor to Dunning, by herself in the corner. Squares for a three-point shot. Bang! Bang! Bella Jo Dunning, corner three. Her third triple of the night. And the Bulldogs go up 35-24. Here's Ainley sidestepping into Trey, and she splashes it. Jacelyn Ainley with the big answer, and it's 35-27. Ainley tonight for Clear Lake has been held to a quiet performance, but that's her first three of the night as she'll try to heat up here in the fourth. Dunning driving in, tried to thread to Limbaugh, and that got wrapped up with Ainley, who did a great job getting her hands in there and forcing the jump ball. Possession error is towards Clear Lake as the Lions will keep possession 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Van Otterloo back in for the Bulldogs, Logie back in for the Lions. Schwen and Lentz go to the bench respectively for the two teams. 35-27 Algona, inbounded to Dunning as the Bulldogs keep possession. Bounce pass to McLaughlin, goes between two defenders, can't scoop that ball in, and Amble grabs the rebound for Clear Lake. Gets it over to Hill, who jogs into the forecourt. Hill passed into the corner to Logie, who was going the opposite direction, and Van Otterloo's right there for the takeaway for Algona. Up ahead to Spear. Spear pivoted right into the body of Ainley, and that'll force a traveling violation. Spear did not realize Ainley was right in front of her, and then kind of ran into a brick wall there as she'll turn the basketball over for Algona. Amble out, Grimm in for Clear Lake. Lions with some good depth off their bench. Bulldogs also have good depth here as Limbaugh will jog over to the bench for Algona. Now the original starting five is back on the floor here for the Bulldogs. Ainley flips it left to Tice. She'll let it rip. Buries the three-point shot. That could not have splashed in any more perfectly for Tice, and it's 35-30. Clear Lake with a couple big threes to get back into it here in the fourth. 6 straight points for the Lions. Dunning, the answer. Just a bit too strong. Rebound controlled on the strong side by Jacelyn Ainley for Clear Lake. This place would have blown the roof off if Dunning had knocked that down. Instead, Clear Lake's margin of deficit is just 5 points. Ainley looking for space, working against Spear, driving into the lane. Ainley off glass, spins it up and in. Jason Ainley is coming to life here in the fourth quarter, and Coach McLaughlin calling for a timeout for Algona. 35-32, Clear Lake has fought back into this game as they have scored 8 consecutive points against the Bulldogs. We'll keep it here with 5:56 remaining in the fourth quarter on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream. Well, everything Clear Lake did not have in the first 3 quarters, they're getting here in the fourth. Some paint touches for Ashley Amble. That's been a key because that was not enough part of their offense for the first 3 quarters. But then the 3-point ball is finally going down for Clear Lake as well. How often do we say for the Bulldogs, trust the math? Well, for Clear Lake, they're saying the 3-point looks we're taking are all right. They just didn't fall in the first part of this game. Now they are dropping like their layups here in the fourth quarter. And the Bulldogs have to dig in here and try to reestablish this lead, which is now at 3 points. It ballooned up to 11 early in the quarter, down to just 3 at 35-32. McLaughlin on the backcourt working against the press, flips it up ahead to Lentz as the Bulldogs have navigated that press well all night. And Lentz throws it to Spear, it rolls into the backcourt, and it's an over and back against Algona. And here's the problem. Bulldogs are getting across half court against the press just fine, but once they get across half court, they're staying sped up and just sometimes getting a bit out of control offensively. Also, I'll say this, Algona hasn't faced a whole lot of man-to-man this year. Most teams they played have been 2-3 zone teams, so it's a different defense tonight as well the Bulldogs are adjusting to. There's certainly been some good moments, but there have been some stretches of struggle on this Bulldog offense as well. Tice with the basketball at the controls for Clear Lake. 5:40 left in the fourth quarter. At least in regulation anyways, 35-32. Grimm against Limbaugh, double team. She pivots and puts a nice left-hander up and in. She faked the spin towards her right. Saw the double team was on that side, so she spun left instead where she had the one-on-one. As she gets her first 2 of the night. Bulldogs in a little trouble now in the backcourt. Dunning sprinting the sideline. Pass tipped away by Clear Lake's Hill and out of bounds. They did a great job of forcing Dunning to the boundary, and Bulldogs, frankly, fortunate that ball went out because that play was begging to result in a turnover. Bulldog leads at 1. This is a 10-0 Clear Lake scoring run. 5:14 left in the fourth. Limbaugh another 3. Oh my goodness! It's good again! Kate Limbaugh's going Caitlin Clark mode, and it's a 4-point Bulldog lead. 38-34. She has not missed tonight from downtown. She ties a career high of 17 points, and the momentum is back here in the Bulldog Gymnasium. And a timeout called by Clear Lake. 60-second timeout. 4:52 left in the fourth quarter. Can the Bulldogs hang on? We'll find out next on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
We've got more sports club members bringing you this broadcast.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
Reeb's Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeb's.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and the surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Algona Pizza Ranch, there's so much to love.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
When you need an answer on offense, you have to go deep into the playbook. Coach McLaughlin and the Bulldogs have brought out the Kate Limbaugh 3-point balls tonight. Limbaugh, with 0 career 3-point attempts coming into tonight, is 4 for 4 on trays, and she has 17 points to lead all scorers as Algona's on top 38-34. Curling into the lane and kicking is Logie. She'll get it out to Schwen, barreling downhill to the bucket, missed wildly on the left-handed shot. Rebound Limbaugh. She got hugged by Grimm, and that'll be the 3rd personal foul on the Clear Lake freshman. Boy, Kate Limbaugh has put the team on her back so far tonight. On a tough night offensively for the Bulldogs, she has provided a much-needed jolt of energy. Limbaugh collects the pass from Dunning, gets across half court, then throws it into the backcourt, and she knew it right away. Well, that's the way sports work sometimes. They will humble you in a second. She was on top of the world after that 3-point ball at the Clear Lake timeout, and then she was knowing that she had to get the ball to one of her guards, but gotta let them get across half court first, and she knows that as well as anybody. Tice for Clear Lake, working the bucket towards the left. 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Bulldogs up by 4. Gives the ball to Ainley. Unofficially 8 points so far tonight by Ainley. 8 by Schwen as well for Clear Lake. And 6 of Ainley's 8 have come here in the fourth. Gives the ball to Logie. She'll arc up the three-point ball, and it's an air ball going out of bounds. Grimm tries to save it, and she almost did, but it's out of bounds. Nice hustle play by a Clear Lake freshman working her way through the white jerseys, and nearly was able to save that underneath her own basket for a 2. Instead, it's Bulldog possession of 4:12 left. Limbaugh will take a seat on the pine, as will Spear. Bulldogs have Lentz, McLaughlin, Van Tiger, Van Otterloo, and Dunning. McLaughlin fires up ahead to Dunning. Bulldogs are across the half-court line this time with 4:04 left in the fourth quarter. Back to Van Otterloo up top, the Bulldog assist leader of 6 per game so far this season. She is blanketed by Ainley and bounces the pass right to Van Tiger. Dunning trying to get posted position inside, but good defense being played by Hill for Clear Lake. Lentz out top for the Bulldogs, shovels to Van Tiger, fought about free, she'll drive, but dribbled it off her leg. Roll right to Dunning, Dunning floater, missed it left. Rebound is tipped around, Ainley able to tap dance along the baseline and unload the ball to Tice, and Tice immediately double teamed by an aggressive Bulldog defense. Oh, and they fouled her. They fouled her as Tice was able to split the double team and dribble up ahead. That'll be the first personal foul by Algona. That was close to traveling range right there, but Bulldogs fouled first. And that'll be number 2 against Van Tiger. Still a 4-point margin, 38-34. Ainley across half court for Clear Lake, guarded by Van Tiger. Amble getting ready to set a screen for Clear Lake. Ainley shaking around looking for space. Here's another screen by Schwen. Schwen comes off the screen. She barrels downhill towards the baseline. Offensive foul drawn by Bella Jo Dunning. And Coach Ernest is having a migraine right now on the Clear Lake sideline. That'll be foul number 4 against Taylor Schwen, but you're not taking her out at this point. This is crunch time. If you're going to win the game for Clear Lake, you need a few points here for the next few minutes, and having Schwen on the floor is the best operational way to do that. Spear grabs the inbounds pass, dribbled into trouble though, and it's knocked out of bounds. And they'll say Spear touched it last. Lost control of the dribble. Or no, check that, they pointed as if the ball was going to be Clear Lake ball, but Algona did keep it as Clear Lake touched it last. Up ahead to Dunning. Bulldogs are across half court, 3:11 left in the fourth quarter. Dunning cross-court feed to Spear on the right wing. Limbaugh's trying to post up inside against Amble, nothing there. On the wing to McLaughlin. Bumping bodies of Schwen. Unloads the ball left to Spear. Spear, top of the arc to Dunning. 14 on the shot clock. Dunning shovels to Limbaugh. Off her hands, though, and out of bounds. Clear Lake has the basketball back again with 2:55 left. Bulldogs have not scored since that Clear Lake timeout. Not has Clear Lake for that matter. We have been in a stalemate here at 38-34. 2:50 left in the fourth quarter. Ainley towards the left. Amble getting ready to screen against Spear. Spear goes underneath the screen. Then another crunching screen by Schwen. Spear fighting through it all. Ainley drives in, and the layup is in and out and back in. Ainley into double figures of 10. She's now scored in double digits in all 4 Clear Lake games, and it's 38-36. And Van Otterloo just got fouled on the inbounds pass, but they didn't call anything as she'll get it up ahead to Limbaugh. Off to Spear now, and then up top to Van Otterloo with 2:25 left. On the wing to Dunning. Feeds it into the post McLaughlin. Going to work against Schwen. Shovels it up and in. The spin towards the right by Hayden McLaughlin. And she's in double digits as well with 10 points. 40-36. And boy, was that a big bucket for the Bulldog Junior. 2:09 left. Schwen uncorks the free from the wing. Buries it. Nothing but net. Taylor Schwen. 1-point game. 40-39. 2 minutes left. Bulldog lead down to 1. Dunning grabs the inbound pass and bursts across half court. Being poked at by Ainley and then throws it away. And it's chased down by Schwen. And she's all by herself. Schwen to the bucket. Lays it up and in. Bulldogs have had some ill-advised turnovers tonight. And Clear Lake has the lead for the first time since the first quarter. 41-40. Bulldogs are up by 11 earlier in this fourth. Up ahead to Dunning. Bulldogs have a 2-on-1. Pass to Limbaugh. Limbaugh up. Oh, she missed from point-blank range. Ball went back to Dunning. And there's a foul at play on the Bulldogs. Trying to get the basketball back. Dunning laid it in, but Limbaugh had the loose ball foul. 90 seconds left in this game. And Bulldogs are down by 1. And a timeout called on the floor right now. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. Both coaches are trying to call a timeout there, but the Bulldogs called it first. It'll be a 60-second timeout by Algona. We'll come back after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
We've got more sports club members.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants. We're everyone counts.
Holmes Animal Clinic. Animals large and small, they love them all.
Hy-Vee, use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Lichter's Garage Door Service, a reputation you can trust.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Engineered Farm Drainage, specializing in drainage tile solutions. Visit them on Facebook or engineeredfarmdrainage.com.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Does Algona have a big bucket in there somewhere here in this fourth quarter? 1:31 left in regulation, and Clear Lake has taken the lead 41-40. Bulldogs at one point were up 35-24, but Clear Lake has come alive offensively in the fourth quarter. The threes have started dropping, and the Bulldogs are just struggling to hang on to the ball on offense. And they will press here against Clear Lake. Inbound in the backcourt, almost stolen by Maya Lentz as she swooped in to knock the ball out of bounds away from Aspen Hill. And Clear Lake will reload here on the inbounds pass. Schwinn in the corner. We'll get the ball into Ainley, and now Clear Lake can get it across the half-court line as Ainley weaves across the Bulldog logo. Ainley immediately picked up by Emma Spear on defense, who's been working hard so far tonight. Schwinn getting ready to screen. Bulldogs will send Dunning over there as well to shadow Ainley. Cross-court feed to Hill, top of the arc. 1:13 left in the fourth. Hill gives the ball to Schwinn. Schwinn with a couple of dribbles towards the left. Now reverses towards the right. Goes downhill to the bucket. Lays it up and in. Clear Lake created a ton of space that time, and Schwinn blew right by Dunning. In the backcourt, Van Otterloo getting that ball stripped at. Passes off to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's in trouble. McLaughlin looking up to Spear. Bulldogs have to hurry, and they're across half court before the 10-second call. Spear to Van Otterloo on the wing. 45 seconds left in the fourth. Quarter to Lentz. You don't need a three yet, but you take it if you get it. Dunning right wing. Feeds it into McLaughlin. She'll spin towards the right, puts it up, and it rolls off no good. Rebound is right into the hands of Amble. Now the Bulldogs are going to have to foul at some point. Shot clock off, 31 on the game clock. They're trying for a steal in the backcourt. They won't get it, and you've got a foul here soon. And there's the foul on Schwinn with 26 seconds left. And a game that seemed all but won for Algona is in danger of slipping away here, as that's foul number 3 on the Bulldogs of this quarter, third by Van Otterloo. Van Tiger checks in, Van Otterloo checks out. Schwinn will inbound from the near side of the court. Schwinn looks, she'll lob it in, high pass caught by Ainley on the right wing, and Spear will try to rake that ball out. She'll get the foul, 24.4 seconds left. The next one will put Clear Lake at the free throw stripe. Lions as a team this year, 14 of 24 foul shooting, by the way, coming into tonight. Bulldogs will go for the steal here, and if you don't get it, you foul quickly, as that was the second on Spear. Inbound to Hill, and they get the ball to Ainley. Ainley right back to Hill. This is burning a ton of time. Now to Schwinn, to Amble, and the Bulldogs finally foul. 16.4 left in this one. That's actually an okay outcome. It took a lot of time, but Amble was probably the one that wanted to foul of all those players. A 52% foul shooter last season. This year, 5 of 8 from the stripe, but she needs one. And a 30-second timeout call by Coach McLaughlin. So now you're thinking about what you do offensively when you get the basketball back. Obviously, if she misses both free throws, you're thinking three-point ball the tie. But if she makes one, you can hustle down, try to get a quick 2, and then play the foul game again and try to get it back to it being a one-possession game and probably less than 10 seconds remaining. But you're talking over the situations with the team right now. Foul-wise, of course, Clear Lake's in the bonus. Bulldogs have committed 5 fouls. Clear Lake has committed 2. Clear Lake, no timeouts left. Algona does have 3 timeouts remaining, at least according to the scoreboard after this. Individually, Van Tiger just picked up her 3rd personal foul. Nobody in the Bulldogs have 4 yet. Schwinn does have 4 for Clear Lake. How about that? Schwinn has played the whole 4th quarter pretty much. Maybe not the whole 4th quarter, about half the 4th quarter, I should say, with 4 fouls, and has avoided picking up that 5th. So here's Amble with the critical free throws for Clear Lake. Amble missed right on the first one. It stays a 3-point margin. Van Otterloo checks back in for Algona as Van Tiger heads to the bench, and now the pressure heats up big time. The 6'4" senior Ashley Amble, 10 points, 9 rebounds per game so far this season. Arcs to the free throw, and that one rattles and drops through. A friendly rubber in for Amble, and it's a 4-point Clear Lake lead. Inbound pass to the backcourt, knocked away, and it's off the hands of Van Otterloo. Ainley had the deflection, and then It deflected off of Ainley's hands and off of Bianotto and out of bounds. And the Bulldogs are in big trouble now. 15.3 seconds left. Down by 4 to Clear Lake. 18-game conference win streak on the line. Schwen inbounding, looking for Amble, blocked out of bounds by Dunning. And Clear Lake will have to reload and throw it back in again. Schwen down to our left, inbounding it to Ainley. He got a foul here. Time still burning away, and then finally a foul's committed as about 4 seconds go off the clock there. And Ainley will check to the free throw stripe. Ainley last year just over 62% from the foul line. Coming off a 17-point game where she made 7 of 8 field goals against Hampton-Dumont Cal. So far today 10, but much of that here in the fourth quarter. Ainley free throw, and that one rattles in. 45-40 in favor of Clear Lake. Bulldogs will have to hustle the ball back up the court when they get the basketball back here. 45-40, and now 46-40 as that one goes as well for Ainley. Now the Bulldogs need a pair of three-pointers and some breaks along the way. Spear in the backcourt. Dribbling towards the half-court line of 7 seconds of 6. Gets it up ahead to Bianotto, now to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to the baseline of 3 with 2. She'll put it up and put it in of 1. And time's going to expire here for the Bulldogs. An 11-point lead gets away in the fourth quarter. And Clear Lake takes the early lead in the North Central Conference. They upset Algona 46-42 with a big fourth quarter rally to knock off Algona tonight. 17 points by Kate Limbaugh. Not enough in this one for the Bulldogs as they will fall to 3-2 on the season. Clear Lake improves to a perfect 4-0. We'll step aside for a timeout. Look at the final numbers after this on Hometown Radio KLGA 92.7 FM.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like